Have you ever sat at your kitchen table, a quiet afternoon sun shining through the window, and wondered, who should I live with now that I'm over 70? Maybe you've wrestled with this question after losing a spouse, as family moved away, or simply as life seasons shifted in ways you never predicted. It's not just about living longer, it's truly about living better. We all want safety, companionship, dignity, and peace. But most of all, we want to feel at home in every sense of the word. As we age, the rhythms of our lives change. Maybe mornings come earlier or nights feel longer. The things that once seemed urgent fall away, replaced by a desire for warmth, respect, and connection. Suddenly, the question of who shares your living space, who you see across the breakfast table, or who hears your stories at dusk, becomes one of life's most meaningful decisions. Today, I want to guide you through 6 of the most common living arrangements for seniors over 70. I'll share not just the practical aspects, but also the emotional truths, the quiet joys, the challenges, and some stories of real people just like you. By the end, you might see a path forward for yourself or someone dear to you. So, let's explore your options, and remember, there is no one right answer for everyone. The right answer is the one that fits your spirit, your needs, and your dreams. Number 1. Living with adult children who genuinely respect your independence. For many, the first idea that comes to mind is moving in with an adult child. It makes sense. Family is often our first line of support, and the idea of sharing daily life with children and grandchildren is comforting. You gain immediate help with shopping, meals, appointments, or just having someone nearby in case of emergencies. Loneliness and isolation become much less of a worry. But, as anyone who's ever tried this knows, respect is everything. The best arrangements are built on mutual understanding and care, not on obligation. Let me tell you about Barbara, 77, who moved in with her daughter, Lori, after a tough bout of pneumonia. Barbara worried she'd lose her sense of self in her daughter's busy home. But Lori surprised her. She asked Barbara where she wanted her favorite chair, encouraged her to join every family discussion, and made sure her mother had a key to the front door. A small gesture, but so symbolic. That key told me this was still my home, too, Barbara recalls. The challenge here is balance. In some families, older parents move in and begin to feel invisible. Their routines vanish, their opinions are ignored, and slowly, they shrink into the background. This isn't healthy for anyone. The best living situations with children come when everyone communicates openly, sets healthy boundaries, and truly values each member's independence and wisdom. So if you're considering this path, talk honestly with your family. Make sure you're seen, not as a guest or just a grandparent, but as a person with a lifetime of experiences and preferences that matter. Number 2. Living with siblings or lifelong relatives who share your history. There's something deeply comforting about sharing a home with someone who's known you through thick and thin, a brother or sister, a cousin, or even a lifelong family friend. Sharing space with someone from your own generation means sharing memories, inside jokes, family traditions, and a cultural language no one else quite understands. Take the story of Henry and Samuel, brothers in their early 80s. Both had lost their wives and tried living alone for a while. But after a few lonely years, they decided to try living together. Like we did when we were kids, Henry said with a chuckle. They set up housekeeping, divided chores, and started a routine of watching baseball together every Sunday afternoon. Sure, they squabbled over minor things, the thermostat especially. But at the end of the day, Henry says, it feels good to be with someone who gets you, even if they drive you a little crazy. Living with a sibling or longtime relative is not about dependence. It's about companionship. You get practical help, perhaps with meals, reminders about medication, or running errands. But there's also a deep sense of belonging. Someone knows your story, your quirks, your triumphs and mistakes. The challenge, of course, is that old conflicts or habits can resurface. But with some patience, forgiveness, and clear communication, this arrangement can bring great comfort and meaning. Number 3. Living with a friend or peer, a senior roommate. Maybe your family's far away, or maybe living with them just doesn't appeal to you. More seniors than ever are choosing to live with friends, former coworkers, or other trusted peers. This roommate-style living is about sharing costs, supporting each other, and adding some laughter to daily life, all while keeping your independence. Let's meet Alice and Jean, both widowed in their 70s. They met through a gardening club and discovered they both dreaded living alone. After a few coffee dates, they decided to try sharing a house. "We keep to our routines," Jean says, "but it's nice to have company. We share meals a few times a week, help each other remember appointments, and look out for each other without crowding." This kind of arrangement thrives when ground rules are agreed upon up front. Who does what chores? How are bills split? What quiet hours do you both need? Compatibility is key, not just in habits, but in temperament and communication. While it isn't for everyone, the benefits are real. Companionship that doesn't come with family baggage, a sense of shared responsibility, and the simple joy of greeting someone every morning. Number 4. Living with a younger relative or housemate for mutual support. Sometimes, the best match is with someone a generation or two younger. Maybe it's a grandchild, niece, or nephew, or maybe a kind, trustworthy young adult you're not related to by blood at all. Intergenerational living is on the rise, and for good reason. The arrangement can be mutually beneficial. The younger person may get reduced rent or housing in exchange for help with errands, technology, yard work, or just some energetic company. The older adult gets practical support, security, and a new perspective on life. Consider Joe, 80, who invited his niece's son, Mason, to move in while Mason attended community college. Mason helped Joe with setting up his computer, driving him to doctor's appointments, and even showing him how to use social media. In exchange, Joe offered Mason a quiet place to study and meals a couple nights a week. "He keeps me young," Joe laughs, "and I like to think I help him learn a few things too." Of course, ground rules and boundaries are vital. You should set clear expectations regarding privacy, chores, and schedules. But when it works, this arrangement brings together the energy and fresh perspectives of youth with the wisdom and stability of age. It creates a bridge between generations that enriches both lives. Doris, 84, rented her spare room to Amber, a 26-year-old nurse. "My children were worried at first," Doris admits. "But Amber brings such life to the house. She helps with groceries and technology, and I make sure she eats a decent meal now and then. We're not related, but we've become family in our own way." These arrangements work best when they're based on mutual respect rather than just convenience. The younger person must see the older adult as a whole person with experiences and wisdom to share, not just someone who needs help. Similarly, the older adult should appreciate the younger person's independence and different lifestyle, not just the assistance they provide. Number 5. Living with a professional caregiver for daily assistance. As we age, some daily tasks become genuinely challenging. Bathing, cooking, managing medications, or moving safely around the home might require more help than friends or family can reasonably provide. This is when a professional caregiver who lives in your home can make all the difference. Professional caregivers bring training, experience, and objectivity to their role. They know how to assist without hovering, how to respect dignity while ensuring safety, and how to spot potential health issues before they become emergencies. For many seniors with ongoing health concerns, this arrangement provides not just practical help, but profound peace of mind. Martha, 88, resisted the idea for years. "I didn't want a stranger in my house," she explains. When she finally agreed to try a live-in caregiver, she was surprised by how quickly Ruth became not a stranger, but a trusted companion. "Ruth knows exactly how I like things done. She respects my privacy. She listens to my stories. And I never have to worry about falling with no one to help me up." That freedom from fear is priceless. This option does require financial planning, careful screening, and sometimes support from insurance or government programs. But for those with chronic conditions or mobility issues, having professional help at home can mean staying in familiar surroundings much longer, with greater comfort and fewer emergency situations. The best caregiving relationships blend professionalism with genuine human connection. They're based not just on completing tasks, but on building trust and respecting personhood. A good caregiver sees beyond your age or health challenges to the individual you've always been. Number 6. Living with someone who honors your natural rhythm. Perhaps the most important insight about living arrangements after 70 isn't about titles or roles at all. It's about finding someone, anyone, who truly respects your natural patterns, preferences, and personhood. This could be a child, a niece, a friend, a caregiver, or someone completely unexpected. What matters most isn't who they are to you on paper. It's how they make you feel in your own space. Do they honor your need for quiet in the morning? Do they understand when you want company and when you need solitude? Do they treat your routines and preferences as valid, not as inconveniences? Take William, 85, who surprised everyone by inviting his late wife's nurse's son, David, to live in his spare room. "My kids thought it was odd at first," William admits. "But David and I just clicked. He respects my schedule. He knows I like classical music with breakfast. He never interrupts when I'm reading. We're not related, but he gets me." The right person to live with makes you feel seen and valued. They don't try to change you or manage you. They create space for you to be fully yourself, with all your habits, interests, and quirks intact. This kind of relationship can emerge in unexpected places, so it's worth looking beyond conventional arrangements. Now that we've explored these 6 options, I want to emphasize that there's no universal right answer for everyone. The best living arrangement for you depends on your unique combination of needs, values, personality, and circumstances. Some people thrive in busy households with multiple generations. Others need more peace and predictability. What matters isn't following a formula, but finding what brings you security, respect, and joy. Consider making a list of what matters most to you in daily life. Is it conversation over coffee? Quiet mornings? Help with specific tasks? Cultural or religious practices? These aren't small things, they're the texture of your life. The right living arrangement protects and nurtures these essentials. Remember, too, that circumstances change. What works at 70 may need adjustment at 80 or 85. The wisest approach is staying flexible and willing to reassess as needs evolve. Eleanor, 91, lived happily with her son's family for 8 years. When her care needs increased, they collaborated on a new plan that included part-time professional help. "We adapted," Eleanor says. "That's what families do." If you're uncertain, consider a trial period before making permanent changes. Many families arrange a test run of a few months to see how a new living situation feels for everyone involved. This reduces pressure and allows for honest evaluation. I also want to acknowledge that many seniors face this decision with limited options. Perhaps family is far away, finances are tight, or health needs are complex. If that's your situation, please know there are more resources available today than ever before. Shared housing programs, roommate matching services for seniors, naturally occurring retirement communities, and various home support programs. Your local area agency on aging can connect you with these resources. Robert, 79, found himself alone after his wife died, with no children nearby. Through a senior roommate matching program, he connected with Edward, 75, who needed housing after a rent increase. "We were both skeptical at first," Robert recalls. "Two old guys who'd never had roommates? But it's been 3 years now, and it works. We're different enough to keep things interesting, but similar enough in our habits that we don't drive each other crazy." As we conclude, I want to emphasize that finding the right living arrangement isn't about settling or making do. It's about creating the conditions for a life that continues to have meaning, comfort, and dignity. It's about surrounding yourself with people, whether family, friends, or paid helpers, who see and value the person you've always been. The question isn't simply, who should I live with, but rather, who helps me feel most at home in my own life? Listen to that quiet inner voice that recognizes where you feel respected and at peace. Over the decades, you've developed instincts about what feels right. Trust those feelings. Maybe your happiest days are those with a full house, kids and grandkids coming and going, energy and noise filling every room. Or maybe your soul breathes easier in the company of one trusted friend, or in the gentle morning silence of your own space. The truth is, there's no gold standard to strive for, only the arrangement that best supports your health, your happiness, and your spirit. Technology is also expanding the possibilities for aging in place. Smart home devices, telehealth, medication reminders, and emergency response systems now allow many older adults to live alone safely for longer than ever before, if that's their preference. Take Dolores, 82, who lives alone in her family home. Thanks to a medical alert necklace, a tablet for video calls, and neighbors who check in every afternoon, she enjoys her independence and only calls her daughter in another state if something comes up. I can watch my own programs, eat what I like, but I know I'm never really isolated, she says. The path to finding your best living arrangement after 70 may not be quick or straightforward. You might need to try a few options before landing on what truly fits. Give yourself permission to experiment. If moving in with your daughter is overwhelming, it's okay to make a change. If a housemate arrangement isn't bringing comfort, try something new. Life at this age is about honoring your needs and not being afraid to speak up for yourself. It's also important not to overlook the emotional transition that comes with any new living situation. Even positive changes, like moving in with a beloved family member, can bring moments of loss or confusion at first. It's normal to grieve the routines and spaces from your past, even as you embrace new sources of comfort. Make your space familiar. Bring your favorite chair, your photos, your books. Take time to establish new routines before deciding whether a living arrangement is truly the right fit. If your situation allows, involve yourself in the decision-making process as much as possible. Don't simply accept what others arrange for you. Voice your needs, your worries, your hopes. People want to help, but they can't read your mind. Your openness makes for better solutions. And don't forget to consider your finances. If you worry you can't afford your ideal living situation, seek advice from trusted sources, a senior center, a financial planner, even your local council on aging. There may be programs or benefits you don't know about, from tax credits for live-in caregivers to housing programs for seniors and affordable home modifications to prevent falls. What about when family dynamics are tough, or the right person simply isn't available? Remember, companionship can take many forms. You might find unexpected friendship in a neighbor, a faith community, or a volunteer companion program. Sometimes, the perfect living arrangement is one you never saw coming. Agnes, 87, moved into a retirement co-op after decades in a single-family home. I never thought I'd enjoy a group dinner schedule, but now my friends are right down the hall, and I have all the alone time I want too, she laughs. Above all, be gentle with yourself. This stage of life brings enormous change, not just in where you live, but how you experience each day. You deserve comfort, respect, and joy. You deserve to feel safe, understood, and at home. Let's review the options together one last time. Number 1. Living with adult children. This brings immediate support and the comforts of family, but requires clear rules, good boundaries, and mutual respect to avoid feeling like a guest in your own life. Number 2. Living with siblings or family with shared history. You benefit from the deep bond of shared memories and understanding, though old patterns and disagreements may resurface. Honest communication and humor help keep things balanced. Number 3. senior roommates, or friends. Ideal for those craving companionship without family obligations, this works best with compatible routines and open agreements about responsibility and privacy. Number 4. Intergenerational housemates or younger relatives. These arrangements trade energy and mutual support across generations. They require clear boundaries, shared expectations, and genuine appreciation for each other's strengths. Number 5. Professional live-in caregivers. For those with advanced care needs, a skilled caregiver brings safety and assistance, supporting you to remain in your own home with dignity. Trust, respect, and communication are essential for this relationship to flourish. Number 6. Anyone who honors your rhythm and personality. The most important person to live with might not be family or someone expected, but simply the person who lets you be yourself, who respects your routines, understands your preferences, and helps you feel truly at home. As you consider your options, remember that your preferences and well-being come first. If you're able, write down what truly matters to you: privacy, conversation, access to nature, spiritual practices, favorite foods, or staying close to your community. Share your wishes with those helping you plan the next step. If you're a friend or family member helping a loved one find their best arrangement, listen with empathy and patience. No two people will choose or need the same solution. Be flexible. Allow space for trial and error. And finally, if you feel discouraged or unsure, reach out. You are never alone in this process. Whether it's a call to your local senior center, a conversation with a faith leader, or simply talking to a trusted friend, support is out there. In closing, the central question of who to live with after 70 is really a question about how to keep living with joy, dignity, and peace. The best answer is unique to you. It may take time and courage to find, but you are worth that journey. What about you? Which of these arrangements speaks to your heart? Have you discovered a living situation that brings you unexpected happiness? I hope you'll share your thoughts and stories with others. You might inspire someone still searching for their own sense of home. No matter the path you choose, may your days be filled with warmth, purpose, and the gentle certainty that you are right where you belong.